You have just received peer review comments on a paper you had submitted some time back, and it feels like this. Has this happened to you? Then this video is for you. I am Professor Khalid Khan from Granada in Spain, where I was distinguished investigator at the university over there. I'm going to tell you in this video how you can get your paper accepted with a strong, positive, and constructive response to the peer reviewer comments. To set the scene, the scenario we will look at is where your paper has passed the initial screening and the editor's judgment is that the paper should be sent for peer review. The peer reviewer comments have returned, and the editor now has to make a decision. Obviously, the editor can reject the paper, and in this case, you may have an opportunity to appeal against the decision. But the scenario we are going to address in this video pertains to where the editor has decided to seek revisions, and the quality of your response will determine whether or not the paper will be accepted and published. The content that I'm going to present here comes from a book chapter that I have co authored with colleagues from the University of Granada. Well, at the time when the editor is taking the decision in light of peer review comments, if the recommendation by the peer reviewers is to reject the paper, the chances are that the editor will just reject the paper, more than 90%. There is a small possibility that they may not agree with the reviewer's judgment, especially when there is disagreement between reviewers, and especially if you appeal, a small possibility that eventually the paper may be accepted. However, if the peer reviewers recommend acceptance with major or minor revision, the chance that the paper will be accepted is only around 40 to 70%, which means that it is the quality of your response that will determine whether or not your paper will be accepted. So, we are going to look at a paper of mine published some time back that I co authored with colleagues in the UK and Switzerland. It was a peer reviewed open peer review publication, which means that its peer review reports are available. So we're going to look at them and the response we provided. So first of all, we noticed that the paper was submitted on the 12th of September, and on 16th of September, after some initial minor readjustments to the submission, it was sent out for peer review. The peer review reports came back in about 6 weeks from three reviewers, but one of the peer review report was delayed by nearly 3 months. And then within a month after this last peer review report, we responded and successfully convinced the editor to accept and publish the paper. Note that if the peer review is delayed, you have the right to write back to the journal to ask them to look at what is going on and send a reminder to the peer reviewer. They can't just keep you hanging forever, uh, which is truly a complete waste of academic time. But the reviewer report will probably look something like this. The length may vary. The report will contain some general comments and some major compulsory revisions, other minor revisions, which I think from your point of view, you should consider them compulsory as an author. There may be some recommendation for the editor. Normally, such a recommendation is given confidentially to the editor, but in some journals, depending on their policy, this may have to be openly included in the published peer review report along with the paper. And it's important that the peer reviewer reports their conflict of interest. How do we deal with this when we have 4 or 5 such reports, each one of them pointing at various different revisions? And certainly for an inexperienced author, uh, the comments may even be jumbled up in paragraphs without being numbered. So the challenge is uh, to distill what are the key points, and all of those points need to be addressed in your report. And that is why you feel like this when you see this colossal amount of feedback provided requiring revision. Indeed, it is possible that when you are done with your revisions, the response to the reviewer's comment may be longer than the length of the manuscript, and this is quite common when dealing with multiple peer review reports. Now, guidance does exist in published literature, and here is one paper from computational biology which gives you 10 simple rules. The problem I find with such papers is that they don't give practical guidance. I mean, to be polite, to be clear, to do what the reviewer asks you to do, to accept there are some deficiencies in the paper. I mean, these are just general um, suggestions. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you how exactly to break down the task of providing the revisions in a way that is convincing to the journal editor and to the peer reviewer if your response is sent back to them for reassessment. So let's take the peer review report. The first task is to identify all the points that require revision. And I would strongly advise you to respond in the form of a table. The table should populate the comment, each one that deserves a response separate to other comments in the same paragraph. So you take that point that is relevant for your response and place it in one row, and then take the separate section from the text and place it in the other row, uh, and number these points, uh, even if the peer reviewer has not given any numbering. You can apply your own numbering so that your response to each of the points is clear and separate. Here is an example of the response to peer review comments. We see the same structure. We have numbers. There are 2 reviewers, and you can see that in this case, for the second reviewer, we have restarted the numbering. You may continue the same numbering, that's up to you. Uh, the reviewer 1 comments, you can see, are brief and small in number. And then there is reviewer 2. The author's response, you can see that the column width of the author response is a little bit bigger than reviewer comment, and this is frequently the case. You will also notice that in some cases, the author's response is smaller in number of lines compared to the reviewer comment, whereas in others, it will be much longer. You will also notice that uh, there is a thank you to appreciate the effort of the reviewer, and then there is a description of the changes that you have made in the manuscript. I strongly advise you to do this inside your response letter so that at the time when the editor is examining your response to reviewers, they don't have to keep moving between the manuscript and the response in order to see what changes you have made in response to the comments made. Here is another example of response, and here we see that in a single sentence, um, more than one comment has been included. In this case, you have the option to use the placement of the and to break the comment down into two separate points and give responses to the two separate points as shown here. Again, being polite and giving your response in detail. So, putting this now into a practical step by step guide as to how to proceed, first I would suggest to list all the points made, not just all the paragraphs written, but within the paragraphs, extract the specific points or comments that require addressing independently. Now, between reviewers, there will be similar comments, and there will be some comments that will be dissimilar. Uh, if there are similar comments, then create a common response and then revise the manuscript according to your common response, and then repeat that common response every time you receive this comment from the same comment from a different reviewer. As far as dissimilar comments are concerned, the important observation that need to be made is whether on the same issue has one peer reviewer supported you, whereas another one has criticized you. If this is the case, then you can use the support given by the reviewer on that issue as a defense for yourself against the criticism by another reviewer. In this case, if this strategy can work, you may even be able to avoid the need for making any changes in the manuscript, although it is important that you should give a detailed and polite reply. Finally, you will identify um, comments that cannot be addressed. For example, a reviewer may be so critical that it may appear that they are asking you to repeat the entire study. I mean, this may be because they identify a particular weakness in the methodology. In these type of comments, the important thing is to defend your methodology if that is feasible, and then provide that defense in the revised discussion. Uh, but if that criticism is genuine, then provide that criticism as a limitation in the revised discussion. And in fact, in the recommendations for future research, you can say that in light of these limitations, when similar studies are repeated in the future, they may apply the methodology recommended by the peer reviewer. So use the revision of the discussion section to accommodate for things that you cannot change in your study, but you certainly can take that criticism into account into improving the write up of your discussion. So, in summary, peer review will be critical, expect it to be critical, but do not respond with anger or or disgust. Respond politely, be calm. Anger is a negative feeling. It may even affect the manner in which you will end up writing your response. You control the ego and do not take any offense. Think of the peer reviewer as a potential collaborator who's helping you to improve your manuscript. Ultimately, you need, as an author, the approval of the reviewer in order to get accepted. So keep that in mind. Be prepared to compromise, uh, even if the criticism provided uh, is on the borderline. accept that as a possible point for inclusion as a limitation in your revised discussion section. There is no big deal in making such an adjustment in your write-up. Authors need reviewers' collaboration, and reviewers might be right. Well, learn to see what is good in the criticism, because this is what will help improve the quality of the final manuscript to be published. And accommodation will not just improve the manuscript, but it also will mature you as an author as your career progresses. So here you can see that a rebuttal that is appears extremely negative can be mellowed down, and the criticism provided accommodated in the revision. And with this strategy, I wish you the best of luck in convincing the editor and the peer reviewer to accept your paper. Thank you.